There we go.
How we doing, guys? Fly I'm going to do for you this evening is the blue Zulu Muddler. The Zulu is a fantastic pattern, absolutely amazing. I love it. With a muddler head, I don't know, especially you'll see how bright this blue deer has, this blue deer hair is. It's amazing. It's the colour, the movement in the fly, the muddler head dispersed in the water. Everything about it just screams wild trouty. Before I go any further, hook that I'm tying on is hook-kamasan B175 size 12. You tie with black tinsel, and I'm going to add the tail to the fly now, guys, which is red globrite floss, number 3. So what I do, I like to take a long pinch, fold it over 3 times, fold it over 3 times, and you'll see your 3 lips. Just cut your lips, and then once you've cut it, take the end that you've cut, offer it up to the hook, and your finger and your thumb, take your pinch and lip, pull it down over it to secure it. Make sure that your tail is secured on top of the shank. Okay, make sure it's secured on top, and then those cut ends, or sorry, the lip ends, you just want to tie them in. If you can, just come in with your scissors, try and cut it at a taper at the end. There we go. You don't need to worry about this being perfect in the body, because it's a dubbed body, so you don't need to be too fussy about it. Now at this stage, what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim my tail to length, and that's more than enough. So it is, that's plenty. So there we go. Now I'm going to tie on the rib. The rib on the fly is flat silver tinsel. I'm going to pull the excess to the same length, and again I'm going to come in, tie that on, and then start coming back down. Take it all the way down to the tail. Now at this stage, I like to bring the tinsel over and pull it underneath, and then wind down on it, and you'll find that the tinsel sits and it hangs down there. This just makes life that wee bit easier when it comes to locking in the hackle. Locking in a hackle with flat tinsel isn't just as easy or straightforward as it is doing it with wire. Now, the body, I see if I had just plain black seals for it, that's what I use, but I have none left. But what I do have here is black ice dubbing, so I'm going to use that instead. I don't think it'll make much difference. The black ice, it has a wee bit of flash through it, but as I say, it'll not make much difference. So what I've done is I've waxed my tying silk, and I'm just going to dub on a wee bit of this here. You'll see the crystally icy flash through the black here when I'm dubbing it on, but as I say, if I had plain black seals for, that's what I would be doing it with. So it is. That's 2 pinches in your finger is more than plenty. Right, make sure you're all the way down to the tail, and then just come up nice turns, covering up that underbody. Now we're going to tie in more hackle. The body hackle on this, it's a palmered black hen hackle, so it is very soft, a very soft black hen hackle. And I like to look, you could, if you want to, what you can do is you can pick your perfectly proportioned hackle to make sure that the hackle fibre comes out to the tip of the hook, and that it's not my thing, folks. I've done that for years and years, so I did, tying perfectly proportioned flies. But in my opinion, go bigger with your hackles, because what it does is I'm going to use my hackle pliers for this, because the problem with polymer and my hand hackles is they are short, and it's easier done with your hackle pliers. So that's one, and then just start working down the body. Now, oh, there we go, it slipped. So if that slips there, just come back to the start. If you find that you're palmering your hackle and the hackle starts, God's sake. Right, let's try this for a third time lucky. If you find that it starts twisting and turning and moving all over the place on you, don't be too bothered about it, because what I like to do, once I get the end anyway, I take the toothbrush to this. Oh, no way, right at the very end. This is testing my patience here. Yeah, let's try this again. Aye, as I say guys, if it starts to twist and turn on you, don't be too bothered about it, because as I say, it's a black hen, so it's very soft. So once you take the toothbrush to it in the end, you can pull the hackle whatever way you want it to come. Now, at this stage, I'm just going to cross the hackle over with your flat silver tinsel, and you want your first wrap there good and tight, because as I say, it's not like you're wrapping with wire. It's a flat tinsel, and three turns of the medium silver. You want the medium silver rub. Bring that over, that'll catch that in, and then just a couple more turns just to secure it. That's your rub, nice and secure. Now as I say, you're looking at that, it looks a mess. Don't be worried about it, because we're going to fix it right now with this. So I like to take a toothbrush to it, just to, it's medium silver tinsel you're using for the tag, so you are going to trap quite a lot of the hackle fibres, but that's what your toothbrush is for. Come on with a toothbrush and I can just tease them all out. And then what you can do, because it is a hen hackle, you can brush it all back. And preparation for the muddler head. Now, there we go. And remember guys, these see with your trout flies, they don't need to be picture perfect flies. The rougher the better, in my opinion. Come on with the scissors, just trim away the excess at the back. See that kind of length there, to me, for this kind of fly, is perfect. See that soft black hen hackle, that just generates lovely movement in the water. You've got your red tail at the back, great, a great visual part of the fly in the water that just catches the trout's attention. But it's this nice, even when we put this in the muddler head, this just what do you say, this just, I love it. I think it's fantastic. Gary Ballantyne dyed this deer hair for me, and honestly, I've yet to see anybody else. I've yet to come across anybody else that can dye deer hair the way that man can. None of this is bleached. It's dye. It's real proper dye. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a good decent bunch of deer hair. There we go. Right. Sorry, I got ahead of myself there. What I want to do is wind down the eye, form a base for my deer hair so that it spins okay. I'm not going to tie it in right at the hackle. I'm going to come forward maybe a mile or two, and that's where I'm going to tie this in. So just trying to line up all the tips. You could use a hair stacker, but sometimes it's just quicker doing it with your fingers, I think. So I want these tips they form almost like a hackle in the head of the fly. Now, you could tie all this in and tie it back and trim the deer hair head perfectly, but I don't like it. I like a muddler head to be rough and ready. The whole purpose of the muddler is to disperse water, so it is. It's to catch the trout's attention. That's what your muddler head's for. So what I like to do is I trim it just forward a lie, 2 loose loops to hold it, trim it just forward a lie, and then just let it spin. Let it spin and spin and spin and spin. And there we have it. That's your, I don't need to, all I'm going to do now is push all that back, and that's my muddler head formed. So it is. So I'm just going to, with my finger and my thumb, I'm just going to work this back. So just going to work it back and back and back and back. And as you can see, the more you work it back, the more you can see your head starting to take shape. As I say, folks, you can't, look, you can tighten that up, turn it all around, pull the full bunch of deer hair back and come on with your scissors and do the perfect trimmed muddler head. But it's in my opinion, it's a waste of time. Muddler heads do not need to be perfect, plain and simple. The rougher the better. The rougher your muddler head is, the more water it's going to disperse whenever you're fishing it under the surface film or on the surface. It just depends where you're fishing them. You see, I like fishing muddlers on a slow intermediate line. So, but whether you're fishing them directly on the surface or subsurface, whatever, the whole point of the muddler head is to disperse water. So the rougher it is, then the better. Now that's just back just enough for me to be really, it's very important that you do get a good few turns and behind the eye, just to hold your head back. There we are, there we go. So you can see you have your black hackle, and you can see the lovely hackle that's formed with the tips of that dyed blue deer hair. So you can, I love it, I think it's great stuff. So all I'm going to do now is just put a bit of wax on my silk, my tying silk, and I'm just going to finish the fly, folks. So 3 or 4 turns will I will finish. Try and hold all that deer hair back out of the road. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's you. We'll get that out of the way. There we are. Boom, there you go, and that's the fly done, folks. That's the fly done. And as I say, this, I love to fish muddlers because it's really exciting fishing. That the takes are ferocious, so they are. You might have the odd wee hair here and there sticking out, just trim it away. Same down there, just trim that away. There we go. But you see, by doing that wee trick, trimming it forward of the eye, just saves you so much time when you're tying flies. I tie a lot of flies, I do a lot of tying for people. So you don't want to be taking all that time to sit and trim perfect muddler heads when you don't need to do it. It's totally unnecessary. See that there? That'll catch as much fish, if probably more, than a perfectly tied muddler head. I would put my life on it. But anyway, folks, that's the fly finished. Fantastic pattern. I love it. I do. I really love it. Not only is it great for the wild brownies, but also devastating for sea trout too at night time. See, you're fishing for sea trout at night time, any rivers or that you're fishing, especially now coming up to the season. So once it gets to May and June, sea trout usually appear back in the river. Night time, one of these on sea trout go nuts for them as well. Salmon will also take this. It's just very good all round pattern. So it is. And I wouldn't go fishing anywhere without having a couple in the box. But listen, folks, thanks very much for watching the video. Hit the thumbs up button. Hit the wee bell to get notifications, guys, for whenever I'm putting up videos. Leave comments in the videos, let me know what you think of the content and that so far. And hit that subscribe button, guys. And as I say, thanks very much for watching the video. Until next time, tight lines.